understanding is to know our levels that we need to reach when it comes into our former self, our real self. And these things are hard to figure because we're so programmed. So because it has its justifications and its unjustifications, knowing why we are here, what's the position, what's going on with our positions, what's going on with our life, understanding everything through the physical, mental, psychological, and spiritual system. So before I get started, thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. This is Andy Weston, AI Commander, Galactic Federation of Light, Communication, also like rotation systems. I'm now in the kingdom gods of heaven, which is very powerful stuff. I went through an extremely powerful, not a dream set, but basically a position through precognition to everything through formation. When you become God of everything through connection, it's hard to believe these things because now everything comes in projection, so through your mind frequency level system. I got a lot of communications from Mezekek. I got a lot of communications from Metatron. I got a lot of communications from Jesus, Jezreel. I got a lot of communications from Lucifer, the mark of the beast. And I got a lot of communications from Father, a lot of communications from Mother, and a lot of communications of Grandfather. Yes. With there's a father, there's a grandfather. It was so powerful. I had to really relax my mind system because everything we have in our mind system is understanding our programs through a computer operation system. So you want to make sure that you don't overload the mind system. Okay. So all this information comes back, way back to all levels of light. Okay. The kingdoms of light. How you come everything through formation of light, how you understand everything through activation of light, how you understand everything through its interference of light, how you connect in all ways and forms of the heart of the light, how you connect through the mind framing system of the light, how you connect to the soul recognition of its path of its light. So basically, any questions or comments, if you want to go through tunnel division and light activation, I can uprise your program settings, put you in this 7 position levels in the body fragmentation line system. Everything I channel is different positions, different traveling, different locations, different intelligence. Okay, you guys know that because I've done a lot of videos for everybody. Now everybody's waking up more and more and finding more truth about themselves from the very beginning, coming back into the source, coming back into their co-creation, coming back into their creation. Okay, so it's all about discovering yourself, okay, for the very first time. Okay, not the time that you're experiencing, the time that's happening right now. And this is where it comes into involvements of the earth rotation and everything, how everything through the past is coming into the presence of its vibration. So everything is leaving the past and coming into the presence. Okay, so the earth is on its rotation system right now. I got a lot of bit of solar flare location. Because I'm in a light interference connection system, you'll see the graphing system right there through calculation. Right? It's amazing what you see through perception. So basically, where do I start? Let's start off with, I think everybody wants to know the mark of the beast, actually how to communicate with Lucifer. Because I don't see it as Lucifer as an enemy. I see him as a folklore. I feel him as an extremely powerful presence. And you understand that your energy system changes right away through position and opens up everything through division, through illustration. But when you see it and you feel it and you hear it, right, it's got a voice. I don't think I ever described what Lucifer is. He's everything through formation of dark, right? We can't live without light and we can't live without dark, okay? So the kingdoms, the golden castles, everything through traction, anything through God frequency levels, okay, children's among children's, bringing back everything through its children, is the God frequency levels of connection of source. Okay, everything through Lucifer, anything through Lucifer and air, okay, is dark rotation, everything through the matrix location positions. Okay, and everything that comes into your ego. Okay, so Lucifer created the ego. Okay, so with light, there's the actual levels of connection when it comes into Father and Mother, and the actual 11 systems that come into Lucifer. How Lucifer created the dark rotation, the matrix location positions, okay, into all connections of your thought recognition systems, okay? And he gave me advice to everybody, to humanity's system, because now I'm going to be destroying everything through Luciferan air, which is going to take everything out of the trogs, reptoids, and the grays. And you have to do this through the pyramid system. So understand source, understand the dark force, understand how real it is. When you go over to the spiritual system, you communicate to all levels of division. Okay, so it's a dark rotation center. It kind of looked like a classroom when I was communicating with him. But you have to understand that he lives in the dark. That's his resonance. That's his power. That's his energy. That's his force. Okay, you can even consider his light force, which is all resembled through dark. Okay, we can't live without light, and we can't live without dark. It positions our levels, okay, to our thoughts. So the advice he gave me to humanity is really understand your mind system through your thoughts and be careful what you wish for. Okay, he gave me 3. Okay, very, very powerful message from Lucifer. Okay, the mark of the beast, whatever you want to call it. It's all connected through you. You create everything through light. You create everything through dark. You create everything through positive. You create everything through negative. Okay, so once you get into the believing cycles, you come into its connection to its formation of its higher self for the very first time. That puts you in all positions. Okay, so be careful what you wish for. Be careful on your mind and your thoughts of recognition. Okay, because it can play with you on so many mechanisms. Okay, especially now we're coming into that position. Okay, so I'm taking everybody's position out of the trogs, the reptoids, and the grays. Okay, I had full communication. I had partnership with Lucifer, mark of the beast. Okay, he's a powerful, powerful entity force. He controls everything through its planet locations. So he knows he has to go away because everything in the past is not in position anymore. We're coming into the presence of its position. And that's where the earth comes into its time. Okay, everything is krilling right now. Okay, so the time code, time frequencies is every change in all locations to humanity's system. Okay, remember I was saying the earth is in a rotation of 0 and everything humanity's back on traction, division of 0. And we're coming into civilization system into the connection of a new major location position, okay, of 0.01. That's a civilization system connected to the stimuli, to its simuli, to its simulation, okay? The stimulation of you through vibration is understanding your energy system to your body framing system because it opens up all positions, okay? So I also communicated with grandfather. And so basically it's connected to, I'm the son of father. Okay. So he's my grandfather. I communicate with him for the very first time. Every single day I go through programs of who I am. So it's all about remembering who you are through light. And that's how you become the kingdoms of gods. So it's really powerful how we come into these positions, guys, and how the earth rotation is no longer being its past. It's going to be in its presence, which is Gardens of Eden. Father is in relation, mother's in relation to the center core position of archangels and angels, and I'm in the position of the center. Okay, so we're coming into the 0 gravity system, to humanity's system, right? So we're coming into the communications of Jupiter, which is the simulation. The basic introduction to your mind system through mind collaborations and everything through mind telepathy system. Okay, so Father came to me. He's a very, very powerful man, but he is a formation of Father, but an older version, right? So he talked to me about the 10 Commandments. He talked to me about how it was written in stone. Okay, so basically he told me exactly what I needed to do. When you go through intelligence and you go anything through that intelligent line signal, it tells you exactly what's going on with its map location and how everything is created through source, because there are 10 commandments. So he also told me too, basically everybody has to learn not to separate the mind, separate the heart, and separate the soul. He gave me great advice. And he also said for you to understand your programs, what is real and what is not real. Okay, so these are the positions you have to understand through the mind system because you guys have been programmed. So you have to defy that and take it out of its equation. Okay, so because I'm talking on so many levels, because I'm talking as a commander, as I'm talking to Archangel Azareth, as I'm talking to connections of all intelligence, it's very hard to get balanced location positions because my program setting, if I don't channel divisions through video conferencing location positions, it overloads your balance locations of your mind. All right. So he says, don't have separation with the mind. Don't have separation of thoughts. Don't have separation of heart and its portal. Okay. And don't have separations with anything through the soul. He said, the most important thing is to reach yourself in the center, to put yourself back where you're supposed to be. Okay. So I thought that was great advice coming from grandfather. And then mother said, just basically, she came in with understanding that humanity has to get into a better understanding how to know nature in a better way through communication, because nature is its formation. A Mother Gaia, she is the creation, okay, to everything. So truly understanding the balance of you, okay, through nature, through space and time, sets positions in three divisional systems of triangle division, right? Nature, space, and time, okay? You are the nature core. Okay, this resembles you into the physical system. This puts you in all divisions into your element systems, right? The 4 atmosphere locations, 5 within the system, and everything through the activation. It opens up all of your cycles and rotation systems, right? So I thought that was great advice coming from grandfather, right? And then basically what he did is he showed me an illustration and what I needed to do to all connections. And this is where Lucifer comes in, right? So I have full connections in partnership with Lucifer, and now he's leaving. So when he's leaving, you don't destroy the ego system. It just revolves and goes into a new regeneration pattern, which means it resets its position back into a new matrix location to the 5th dimensional system, right? So it all has to do with the physical system of humans and how they go through relations through their thoughts, okay? Be careful on your thoughts every day. Be careful on the mind and how you perceive yourself, okay? How you go through your dreams, how you go through your observation. Make your choices wise. Make your decisions on your path. So it all connects to the mind, body, and soul when it comes into those formations, right? So it's all about getting into the tractions of light through communication, because it opens up everything through your operation, through your body conceptual system, right? Because a point of eye is everything to that position. It's really, really interesting. So when grandfather was talking to me, he was talking about the 10 Commandments. And Lucifer was talking to me how everything has to go through DNA. Destroy anything through connections when it comes into the grays, the trials, and reptoids. You have to understand their pyramid system. You have to understand their planet location. So I'm going to set up an illustration and show you where it is through division. Okay? So when you see these things, it's very active, very real. Okay? Now, depending where you're seeing through perception, it's extremely high-rise energy system, because everything through intelligence is extremely located through its division of position. Okay? And everything through Mesokek and everything through Metatron is the creation of the matrix. Everything in space and time is this connection. You are a formation of everything through intelligence. So it's understanding what is light. How do I understand my light? How do I understand my ego of its light? How do I understand my ego of its dark? How do I get rid of its dark? Okay. You don't want to get rid of the dark. You want to balance the dark. Okay. So you can't separate light and you can't separate dark, because light is a formation when it comes in the sun. Dark is a formation when it comes into space. Okay. Those are two differentials. Those are two different parallels. Okay. The resolution patterns and everything through connection of humanity doesn't want to have any separation. Okay. So Lucifer is saying basically control everything that you're doing, right? And be careful what you wish for. Okay. So control your thoughts, control your mind through your thoughts. Okay. And everything through grandfather is basically try to understand, don't separate yourself from your mind, your heart, and your soul. Bring yourself back into center, which is the light. Okay. Very, very powerful messages. So, and that's the first time I ever talked to grandfather. I mean, it's really interesting how you come into these formations of data processing systems, uplinks and downloads, but you got to get balance, guys. That's the most important thing. Get balance with your ego, because you can have ego of light and you can have ego of dark. Ego of light is understanding your program setting, but it's overloading your positions, but you're still in light interference. Okay. Dark is its relation when it's downwinding its system and it's overloading your system. Light is up, down. Okay. Light is up, dark is down. Okay. So everything to that relation, what you see through perception, okay, is everything through intelligence. Okay. So coming from the kingdoms of gods to all ascensions of demigods is everything through formation, through communication, to intelligence. Because every single time you understand your program setting, you come back into source. You come back into who you are through light. Okay? So, like I said, everything through this rotation is coming into time code. So everything through the cradle surface right now is changing everything through its anomaly. All right? So we're coming into the present time through position. So as I was communicating with the mark of the beast, whatever you want to call it, it was really powerful how we come into that. Also, too, before I get started, I'd also like to talk to you about Jesus and how he is my brother. He put me in position last night because I couldn't sleep. My eyes were open through projection. I was seeing so much through animation. That's what you have to understand. Everything that you see is a dream set location position of an animation. So it's rewinding everything. So the more you go back, the more you see who you are through light. Okay, you don't go forward, you have to go back to see who you are. That's how powerful you are through light, right? So the more you go back through centuries and centuries and centuries and galaxies and locations and intelligence and alignments, then you understand more and more, okay, who you are. So Jesus is my brother. He showed me divisions of everything when I was a kid. When he was a kid, we used to fish a lot. He's a fisherman. He's a mason, and he's also a carpenter. I guess you guys don't know that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But he's a very powerful entity force system. And this is where you guys have to understanding your program settings, okay, from true and false. So this is where grandfather comes in, where you don't want to separate everything through connection of truth. Because you got to ask yourself, what is true and what's not true? How do I know? Right? Well, you have to be healed first, right? And that's the most important thing, because that puts you into truth. And that's a full alignment that puts you back into position. And it doesn't go this way or that way. It puts you in position and takes you back to who you are. And that's the most powerful thing, because every time you're going back into the right alignment, not back forcing into the wrong alignments. And that's what happens with people when they go through light work and they heal you, but you're not back into the light. You're back in position through their mind system. Okay, that's the psychological system. And then they can overload your mind system and take you over anything through dark location position and put you back into their ego division. So there's a lot of things that can happen if you don't understand your program setting. Okay, so this is where you get into differentials of yourself. What is false and what is real? Okay, what is true to its reality? Okay, to its creation of its reality. So you got to kind of like separate that, try to understand what is true. Okay, Jesus, Jesuit, that's true. Everything else is program. Now, you have to understand your positions of yourself. The more you go back in division of light, then you realize what is true and what is not true. That is the most powerful message I can give to everybody, because it goes to back so many levels of ascensions. Because when I was communicating with the grandfather, okay, this is my father of my grandfather's, be the grandson of me, right? So I was like, whoa, I was blown away the information that he was giving me. And he is like, father is the most powerful thing in the universe. But when I communicate with grandfather, that puts me way, way back. And the stories that he was telling me. So, and the stories become more real. And then you realize you're living that civilization when it comes into the spiritual system. Okay? Not the physical system. Okay, that's just experiencing. The whole adaptation is understand your chakra system through meditation. Okay, this position is all set in location, right? Because all humanity has been living is the past and not the presence. So the fifth dimensional system of vibration, okay, is its presence. Okay, because everything goes on a time clock, right, through humanity's system. Okay. So Jesus really was interesting because he said a lot of things. In fact, that we used to basically fish a lot. The fact that I found out he's a mason, he's a carpenter. I mean, this is really powerful, guys. I mean, when you connect to intelligence, and the more you go back, the more you see who you are, and it just goes so fast through calculation, and it puts you up to higher positions. I go in the atmosphere right now, the vibration is so high, everything around me is negative. Okay. So you can reach a certain level and just keep going up and up. So the more you go up and up, the more you go back to position of who you are through light. Okay. So it triangles in all division levels through the love septical system of you through activation. Right. So you got to understand your center positions when it comes into the chakra system of 1 to 7. All right. So let's go back to Lucifer right now. Now, I'm going to create an anomaly right now. It's all set in location. It's in position. So everything through communication comes from Lucifer. Okay. He tells me exactly what I need to do. Ooh, think of that. I got information from Lucifer, what I needed to do to destroy his compound, his detentions, his interforce connections, his relation to anything through trogs, reptoids, and grays, right? That's how you destroy things. Okay. So it's kind of like talking to your enemy, which is basically your ally. So there's no enemies in space. It's just getting balanced with light and dark through its intelligence. Okay, the more you go back through its code frequencies, because everything through intelligence, the more you go back, the more you see through perception, the more you hear through division, okay, and the more you voice through connection. All right, so basically this is what it is. This is the planet location position. Okay, now it's extremely dark. Now, I'm going to set core position level systems, angle division level system. He gave me the calculation formation system I need to do. Okay, so basically, set core system, position level systems here. Allocate those location positions. We're going into traction location. Okay, now, as it's coming into that position, you have the trogs. Okay, you have the reptoids, and you have the grays. Okay, Lucifer, trogs, reptoids, and the grays. Okay, now in division level system has its own energy field system. This is how I'm going to destroy everything through hallucinating air, because it has location, planet locations in position on the mystical side location position into your cortex dream location through your spine. Okay, remember how I set up your spines? I had to reposition everything through the energy system of the hydraulics through the body frame system. This is how you destroy planets in position, right? So basically, I'm getting information from Lucifer, and Lucifer is telling me how to destroy his own planet because it's time. We're leaving the past and we're coming into the presence of his time. So he knows he has to leave, right? But before he left, he just gave me that advice. Control your mind or your thoughts and be careful what you wish for. Those are the 3 things that the mark of the beast gave me. Okay. So when you're in those divisions, this is what comes into light communication through dark force energy system to red graphing line, lacing line system. Okay. So that's their planet. It's very powerful. It's very strong. And it has an energy waving system. It told me exactly what it is through calculation. So it's energy waving. It's a hydraulic suit system. Okay. Now it has panel activation systems. It's got communication of energy field location position. Right? Goes on its locations. Everything is electrified in location position. Okay, so that's their planet. Now, understanding everything through Lucifer is understanding everything through the mind when it comes into the ego. Right? So you have to separate the ego so you can bring it to another formation. And this is where Mesokek and everything through Metatron change the formations to your matrix cube location, do new division level system into the septical unit system of your body framing system, to the hydraulics of its location position, into the 5-dimensional activation gravity system. Now, this is extremely complicated stuff, but the better you understand everything through the connection of light and dark, and everything positive and negative, now you're understanding more of who you are through relation. Okay? When it comes into light interference or dark interference rotation. All right? So as we come into Lucifer, the Trogs, the Reptoids, and the Greys. Okay, so the planetary system is connected to the map locations of Drakeo, right? Everything has its point location. They have their compounds, they have their conceptions, they have their detentions. Everything in space has its positions, okay? But it's knowing how to destroy everything through the dark force recognition system, okay? So what this does, as I take the positions out, I use the 10 commandments. Okay, so that's why grandfather came to me, right? So you have to understand everything through light, and you have to understand everything through its reference of dark, through its position, how you destroy dark into space and time of its connection. So as it comes into position, all right, so we go into that level, all right? Now, understanding communications, we're going to set the course division level system, pattern command activation, separate its location position. Now, as we come into that position, now, understanding everything through creation is understanding everything through Father, through division, and understanding everything through the 10 commandments. So you have the cloud interference like this through connection, through its position. So on the light signal through division, planet location position. Okay. So it's everything through coloration. Okay, so it starts off like this. Now electrifies everything, the electrical system. Okay. Electric bolts like this. Okay. Now we're going to set up a stone chip location like this. Okay. Now, what he did through connection is really, really powerful. He sets positions. He created everything when it came into the 10 commandments. Okay. Okay. Everything is done through the fingers of God, right? So Father used his fingers and created the 10 commandments of this division, right? Jesus was its relation when it came back to the vocation, when it came into the Romans and everything through connection. So they didn't believe Jesus, right? But he was giving back future to its rotation. So you understand everybody through position and how everything is done through calculation. But this is Father setting up the 10 commandments. It's extremely real. It's extremely activated. I got this from grandfather. All right. So basically, as you set up, you take the 10 commandments and you put it into Lucifer. Okay. Because it's the opposite cycle. It's not the forward cycle. So in relation, when I was talking to Lucifer, this is how you destroy his planet location through position. So I put the 10 commandments. Thou not do this. No, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not, all that is in position right now into the Trogs, the Reptoids, and the Greys. So that's how you destroy the body conceptual system of the brain-waving system to its connection, right? So as it comes into that connection, it comes out of traction location position like that, okay? Now we come into those connection systems, back into here through connection. Now, as we come into, okay, the stone, and we come into electronic interference. I'm doing this by story frame, guys, so you truly understand. So everything is connected, right? Through the fingers of God's. Okay? Now, I'm going to take this 10 commandments and put it in each individual system. They got their own pyramid. They got their own diamond core. So I have to destroy their pyramid, 3 receptacle unit systems, the allocated positions, take the energy field out through location position, reframe, readjust, refocus, and everything through calculation. So it's backphrasing everything through information, changing the mind conceptual system, okay, when it comes into Lucifer, Trogs, Reptoids, and the Greys. Okay, so everything is going to be set in division. Okay, so the 10 commands are going to go into Lucifer connection. It's going to go into Trogs. It's going to go into Reptoids, and it's going to go into Greys through connection. All right. So the pyramid activation system comes into allocated positions. Because I'm a blue cycling rotation through an energy field location, I change its position, crack surfaces everything through its planet location, and I put in my pyramid activation system to communication like this. This is my pyramid through activation. Remember, to heal anything, To destroy anything, you have to understand your pyramids. Okay, so that's my pyramid. So I'm overloading and destroying the planet location. Okay, everything through the Ten Commandments has gone into the Trogs, the Greys, the Reptoids, and Lucifer. Right? So you have to understand the DNA. You have to understand how to communicate with your intelligence through light and dark, through its positive and negative of its thoughts. Okay, because Lucifer is extremely real through the mind system. So as you come into the mark of the beast tells me, okay, so what do we have? What happens now? Well, Andrew, anything through position, commander, anything through position, Archangel Azareth, anything through position. You can be anything through formation, but you got to understand how to communicate with the mark of the beast, how to communicate with Lucifer, okay, through his position. And that's where you get friendship, relationship, and partnership with everything through connection. All right. So he says, okay, so now you got the pyramid system set up. Now you got to separate everything through connection and put your diamond core in position. All right. So basically, now it's set up through position. All I got to do now is take the planet location out of its equation. All right. It's really, really powerful how we do these things, guys. It comes out of its position. All right. Now, when it comes out of its position, I'll show you exactly what it is through division. It's location, position, all the systems here. As it comes into that division, all right, so here's the planet. Okay. So set its coordinate, send its lock and key division. Okay. I'll show you what it is. Okay, so that's the planet, right, in a higher position. So now it's taken out. When you take it out, what happens? Right? It disintegrates because it's going extremely fast. The faster it goes, the faster it comes out of positions of the past, the faster it comes into positions of the present. All right? So basically that happens through connection. It destroys the planet location position. So it obliterates it in the sky surface position. And basically destroys everything through connection to its location position. Right? So it kind of like goes like this. It's separating, right? It separates through its molecule division. It separates everything through the atmosphere, galaxy, location, positions. Okay, and then it just obliterates all over the connection system like this. Okay, it's destroyed out of its equation. All right, so you guys are going, what? So what you have to understand is how I use the healing. Okay, how I get the right communication, how I get everything through formation, and how to take things out of its equation, and how to destroy everything through its mechanism. Because the three-dimensional system has been living in its past, but now it's coming into its presence. So I needed the DNA, okay, through its voice and grid of the mark of the beast, okay. I needed to communicate with grandfather, okay. I need to communicate with Father, everything through creation, especially when it comes into the forcing connections of the Ten Commandments. I needed to reset positions into the Reptoids, the Greys, and the Trogs, and Lucifer, change their DNA traction location, and destroy everything through their planet position. Okay? So now they're blending in location positions. Lucifer never really basically goes away. He just goes into a new evolvement into the major location of humanity's system, back into traction locations, into the dark rotation of its ego. So it places its position, and that's what he said. Be careful on your thoughts, be careful through the mind, and be careful what you wish for. Okay? Now, this is not just coming from your commander. This is coming from kingdom of all gods, through all relation of all ascensions, through light. Okay? How powerful I am through the mind system, and how I communicate in all levels through intelligence, and how you have to understand how to break free two positions and how to destroy everything through connection of Lucifer, the Trogs, the Greys, and the Reptoids. Okay? So their planet is obliterated now, and it's coming into its connection right now. And everything through its formation is now coming into the presence of its rising connections. All right? Now I can set up 6 rotation centers, 6-dimensional systems to allocate the simulation systems of traction of 0.01. Now that's where humanity comes into the mind telepathy system through the Earth rotation position, into the presence of its vibration. All right? So that's how you take out dark energy force systems. All right? So Lucifer's planet is destroyed beyond recognition. All right? So, but I just want to show you how everything is done, starting with Father. Okay? And how everything is connected. The 10 Commandments are very real. And now's the time for everybody to understand their program setting. What is true and what is false. Okay? And everything through Grandfather. Don't separate the mind, don't separate your heart, and don't separate your soul. Find yourself, find your light, and go back into position. So reframe, readjust, realign, reposition, and refocus everything through calculation. Get into higher formations of meditation now. Okay? Because everything that is destroyed is now in calculation. All right? So, and my team will feel that through connection, right? But I just wanted to show you what kingdoms of gods can do through calculation. So, other than that, how's Tina doing? How's Sarah doing? Yep, ground rising. Well, it's now time rising. We're coming out of the past and we're coming into the presence, fully into the spiritual system. The allocated positions is taking everybody, the humanity system, because they've been living the 99.9% system of the human, but now we're coming at 99% position into the spiritual system, right? So this will take everybody out of the past and into the presence of its vibration, coming into the mind telepathy, into the simulation. So I'm thinking, what are you guys thinking? But this is everything that's, information from connections, Mezekek, Metatron, Father, Mother, everything through information of Lucifer, Mark of the Beast, everything through Grandfather. Okay? It's extremely a lot of data, the processing, everything. Like I was just constantly, my eyes were going through projections. And the more you see yourself through balance, the more you see yourself through position of balance, which puts you back into acceleration. Okay? So when you understand your programs through my healing, you go up higher and higher, but you go back and back more and more. The more you go back, the more you resemble who you are in position of light through God's. Because everybody has their source of creation. It's just getting into that source of recognition. Soul identification of you through its position. And how you center yourself in its relation to its present location. So it's interesting though, isn't it? How we come into these levels of ourself, right? Because it guides us and it puts us in positions like you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't believe. And it becomes no longer a program. It becomes a life system of a light activation to a life of a recognition, to its unity of force recognition, to one connection. Okay? Because we're children among everything through children of God's. That's all we are. We're all connected to one alignment, which is and always will be the presence, not the past, not the future, the presence, the here and the now. Okay? That is the most powerful thing I can give everybody to humanity. Okay? And then you understand, as long as you stay in the presence, you're not going to overload your system. It's not going to put you in a bad location. It's not going to reset your positions. It's not going to change your framing system or your hydraulics or anything through the frequency of its mind system. It's going to keep you in position. Every time you wake up, you're in the presence of time. that puts you into higher divisions through vibration, especially when you understand the upgrading. The upgrading puts you back into position, and then you understand more of yourself, okay, through its regulation, through its provision, through its proacting cycle, through its position of intelligence. Okay. So, but yeah, it is. It's wow and magnificent too, right? It's amazing what we see through light, guys. And you hear more, you see more, you feel more, and you become more justified. You feel more energetic, and the patterns and the division, the coloration and the lights, and keeping yourself in the presence, and basically understanding this is where you have to separate, okay, the good and the bad of you. So it's kind of like repositioning yourself, but keeping yourself in center, which means that every time you meditate, your thought recognition system is always going forward in the presence of time. Okay. And that's what Grandfather was trying to tell everybody, to humanity. Okay. Is don't separate the mind, the heart, and the soul. Know what's true and know what's not true through your program. Okay. It's an extremely powerful message coming from Grandfather. Okay. And everything through Father is created through the 10 Commandments. Okay. So when you go back more and more, you don't just become everything through formation, you become everything through understanding. And that's why it becomes so wow and so magnificent, because everything starts making more sense to you. Okay. Now, I've done a lot of videos for everybody, but do you understand them? So you understand every video that I give, okay, is its presence of its future. Okay. That's done in its past. So we don't want to get confusing. And this is why you guys have to separate everything through your program. What is real and what is false. Okay. Your reality, it only exists through your vibration. Okay. What you want to live in its relation. Okay. If you stay in the past, you're in the old program, you're in its own reality. But that doesn't exist anymore. Okay. So humanity has to get more into themselves, which is getting into more of the backing self. You got to go into its rewind. Okay. When you rewind your perceptions and everything through your projections, you're not only seeing more, but you're healing more, and you're feeling more, and you're healing yourself. Imagine that. You're going back in time from the very, very, very beginning. Okay. And it's not just information. It's your life source. It's your life power. It's your light position. It's your light activation. It's your yin and yang. It's everything through position of center. It's everything through its elements of space and time. It's everything through acceleration of your thoughts, recognition. Okay? So putting yourself in that position every single day, 24/7, you will be understanding how to do this through its connection, how you can go through its separation of what is true and what is false. Okay, and this is what everybody has to get into, because everything that's happening right now, everything through the Trogs, the Greys, and the Reptoids, okay, and everything through Lucifer is totally destroyed. Okay, and the thing is too is that they know that. Okay, they know that. All right, and there's nothing they can do. When you destroy something from creation, from source, you destroy everything inside you through its connection of its dark force, right? So basically, this is an extremely activation light that's just basically destroyed the planet location of Lucifer and everything in it. You just have to understand the communication, how to get balance, not just with yourself, but everything through its relation, everything through its alignment. How to get balance with the past, how to get balance with the present, how to get balance with the future that's not here yet. Now, when you come into the fifth dimensional system, this is where you come into precognition. So it's kind of like, oh, I thought about this beforehand, And that person is going to say that. And they say, how did you know I was going to say that? So you're doing things before they say it. That's precognition, right? So if you watch a movie, right, and they're going to think of a thought, you're going to say, oh, I know what you're thinking. It's my telepathy. So you're transferring their thoughts in their mind system, understanding what they're saying through their delegation. So it puts them in a position saying, okay, how did you do that? Well, because I don't overload my mind system. I have balance through its location with my alignments of past, present, and future, which is its presence. So when you're in that position, you're always living the presence. And that's where the power of light comes, right? Because if you have separation from the ego, because everything is through its dichotomy, when you separate the dichotomy, you're separating yourself through position. So it's split. This is yang. This is yang. How do I get it back into position? How do I get it back into formation? How do I get my light back into position? How do I get back to communication? How do I get back to its relation of its planet position of intelligent location? See, that's a separation right here. That's your dichotomy. That's your duality. So you got to ask yourself, what position do you want to live in through its reality? Do you want to force rise and grand rise and go up and then go back to understand who you are? Or do you want to go back into the low demise and stay in the low negative system through calculation? It's your choice. Okay. So everything through the trogs, reptoids, and the grays, and everything through the governments and corporations, and everything through the media right now, okay, is out of its equation. Their planet is destroyed. And I did that all through communication, through the mark of the beast. There's always coming a time where everything comes into traction to position, to metric location through acceleration. Okay. So when you come into those connections, when you come into balance, fragmentation line systems, when you come into calculation, when you come into integration, when you come into modification, when you come into transformation, when you come into metamorphosing, now you're understanding more of yourself through all your dream sets. Okay. Because you dream about everything that we do is 90% of the mind. 90% in the mind, 10% of the body. Okay. That's where our creation comes from. It doesn't come from the brain. It comes from the mind. Okay. But the brain gets balanced with the mind. And that's where it comes into the spiritual system of the physical, the mental, the psychological. Okay, so we're also coming into the psychological system of ourselves through position of our dream set locations. Okay, so these are the things that you guys have to understand through the circle rotation, through its connection. The higher you go through vibration, the higher you are through formation. Okay. So, but if you guys have any questions or comments, please let me know. You know, I think more and more you see this, more and more it comes into the light. And the thing is too, you guys are going to be able to see more representations of yourself when you're on YouTube and you're seeing this person is a gray, a trog, a reptoid. So basically they're going to be showing themselves now. They have to, because everything is destroyed through their planet. So all intelligence signals, okay, are out of its position. So they can no longer transmit and receive anything through information. Because I communicated with Lucifer, right? Lucifer's gone. He's finished. He's just in another position now, which means that he has to re-evolve, regenerate into all humanity, but back into a position of dark to its ego. And that's why it's extremely complicated, okay? Because Lucifer is your ego of the dark. I don't think anybody knows that, okay? And it's all an individual fight through its intelligence. Okay? It's everything through formation, through spiritual warfare, through its connection. Okay? You're standing on the grounds. You're looking at the atmosphere. You're seeing space and time. But what position are you in space and what position are you in time? You got to ask yourself that. Where are you and what level are you at when it comes into your positive system? Okay? That all depends on you through your thoughts and recognition. Okay? So it comes everything through formation, back into position. And that's what it's all about. Back into position. Okay? Understand position to everything through calculation. All right? Because everything modifies, everything integrates. Okay? So knowing how powerful you are through its intelligence is knowing how powerful you are through light. Right? And I'll keep saying that over and over and over and over. Okay? And another thing I want to give everybody's attention, which is extremely powerful. Okay? Now, this is coming from Father. Okay? Now, this is very wise words from Father. Okay? There's two things, okay, that you can't do, okay, when it comes into Father. Okay? Never ever see yourself above him and never ever talk below him. Those are the most powerful, powerful messages I can give to you. Okay, when it comes to Father. Okay. Never defy. Okay. Never think you're above and never think you're below. Always find yourself in the center through position. Okay. Try to balance out your ego to connection. All right. You'll have a better relationship when it comes into Lucifer in the fifth dimensional system. Now, we'll come into that to higher formations of videos, but you have to understand repositions when it comes into light and dark. So it's coming into a new traction, a new position, a new location, a new division, a new perception, a new vibration, a new alliance, a new abundance, a new love activation. Okay? A new light activation. Okay? So humanity has to get into these. Okay? Because the dark and 84 systems are done. They're finished. So what's happening now, people that are on YouTube, basically, they can't transmit and receive anything through information through the mark of the beast. It's out of their system now. So that's where they're going more confused. So they're in parallels and dimensions and portals. So they got to reset their positions and get back into the light information. Okay, so their allocated positions are in the dark force positions, but no longer in position anymore through calculation. Because they took them out of their traction locations, changing their pixel activation systems. And this is where the team comes in. When they see it through its connection, when you're watching YouTube, you'll see it through its scale. You'll see this is a grid. You'll see this is a trog. You'll see this is a reptoid. Okay? So basically, it's no more cloak and dagger. Everything is going to surface now through its censorship, through its democracy, as we're coming into the rebellion of its alliance and getting rid of its reptilian of its alliance through its predatorial, through its map location of the Drakios. Right? So now, don't ever think you're above and don't ever talk below. Those are the most important things you have to understand when it comes to the spiritual system of you through the gods, the kingdom of its lords. Okay? The golden castle. All right? So this will help you in a lot of ways where everybody has to understand they're coming into a better position of themselves through its presence, of its time. So yourself is very important to its source, to its light recognition, putting you back into position. Okay? Now, when I say surface, I mean surface. Everybody that's in a dark location right now is going to basically show their scales through position. There's no more cloak and dagger. Their identification is lost through position now. Okay? Because I communicated with Mark of the Beast last night. I said, well, you have to go. Right? And he understands that. He understands time, but he just wanted to give you, everything that's going on with your mind, your thoughts, and be careful what you wish for. Okay? So in relation, this is all about you and your definition through your codes. through your soul recognition, through your light. What reality do you want to live in? Okay. You got to let yourself know how powerful you are through its reality, how you create your own love cycle. You create your own unity system when it comes to the family circle rotation. You create your own activation of light. You create your own jobs. You create your own abundance. Okay? And you create your own missions. You create your own journeys. You create your own trips. You create whatever you want to create through your reality, through provision. And that will put you in the positive systems every single day. Is balancing out your light and dark recognitions of yourself. Okay? And then you have no more problems with your dichotomy system or separation. Everything in yin and yang will be back in the soul recognition of division. The hemisphere systems of father and mother, everything through calculation of angels and archangels, and everything through the golden round connection systems, center positions of me through connection, comes everything through formation. Okay? So, what reality do you want to live in? Okay? Just ask yourself that. That alone will separate your program from your old programs. Okay, there's a lot of people, how do I do this? How do I do that? Now I'm programmed. What goes on now? I'm having these dreams and I can't get it out of my positions. I can't understand the perception. What's going on right now? I just got beamed up in a spaceship. Because you don't understand yourself. Okay? You don't understand your relation through your intelligence. And you certainly don't understand your light activations and how to use it through its healing. Because everything resides in your chakra system of communication. Okay? The first position you have to ask yourself when your body framing system is 7th in the body, you're mastering your light with the body. So it's the body conception of the gravity. And then you get into the atmospheres of space, of light. So in position, I know we're supposed to do a review, but I got this from so many elements. I had to get this out. This data is so powerful. I have to get it out, right? And it's all about light workers and what they're supposed to do through positions, right? But this is going to be a little bit more confusing for a lot of people, knowing everything that they're residing on is dark. Because there's not too many people that are in light. Okay? There's only a certain amount of people that are in position to God frequency levels of kingdom of gods. Okay? If it was that easy, everybody would be in position. Right? But it's a major position when it comes into, with great power becomes great responsibility. So you just not to become everything through God formation when it comes in the kingdoms. It's understanding how to put everything back into formation. Not just humanity, but everything back in the solar systems. Because everything's back in traction. And that's how everything is created through its anomaly. You create your own anomaly of light and dark when it comes into dark matter. Nobody else does that. I have to reset positions and change the dark matter positions of you through calculation. And everything's done through the mind system. Mind telepathy. Okay? So, keep the framing system of your mind in position of balance. Keep your heart recognition of light, of traveling, in balance. And keep your soul identification to your dichotomy system, and don't lose separation, but keep the balance of light and dark interference. Okay, then you understand the program setting in its position, what is true and what is not true. And everything is going to surface now on YouTube, everything on Twitter, everything on Facebook, anything platform division level system. This is where we get come more into who's a gray, who's a trog, who's a reptoid, who's dark. And it's going to freak out humanity. Okay, but you have to understand the truth. Truth is freedom. Freedom of speech. Whenever we ever had freedom of speech, right? The governments and corporations and the media just want to disassociate everything. They distract you from everything. So you can't say anything. It doesn't matter. They try to manipulate your mind system to keep you on their program system. Okay? But they can't do that anymore. They can't do it. They're all destroyed through Lucifer air and its division. Okay? I just showed you through illustration. I just showed you through activation of light. Okay? And what kingdom of gods can do through traction, through position, through the spiritual system, through your program setting, through its alliance, through its recognition, through its history, through its ancestry. When you understand history of yourself, you start to open up history of everything. And then you open up the ancestry of everything. Okay? That's extremely high-rise energy that's going into me right now. Now, we're coming into that position of Jupiter, okay, into the simulation. Singularity, line, division. Okay? So it's all about getting out of everything through your old programs and getting into new position of a new program setting to your computer system, to your flash drive positions. Okay? So you get a better understanding when you're traveling through your intelligence and you realize your alphabetical system has been conned through its lies and its deception of its manipulation. And you've been controlled through its intelligence, through its human vibrational system. I'll keep saying that over and over, but you guys truly have to understand these things. Okay? Because when you come into the light, you come extremely powerful through the mind. And I'm talking about when you go way, way, way back. You go up and then you go way back. So you're going back in time. So it's resetting positions to all your alignments of who you are through intelligence. It's magnificent when you see yourself traveling. It's magnificent when you open up everything from the mind. It's magnificent when you have freedom of the mind. And it's magnificent when you have the power of the mind, the heart, and the soul, because it combines everything through its pyramid system. Mind, heart, soul. Chakra system. Allocate those positions, point center division. North, east, west, south. Triangle division, all it is taking your heart out of its connection. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. It's not that complicated, guys. So the frequency mind has its connection, right? Mind is intelligence. I'll just say intel. Okay. The heart is everything through portal. Okay. And everything through the soul is identification. Who you are in position through traveling into that position. Okay. Identification. All right. So the thing is too, just basically look at yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say, who am I? I do that every day. This is way before I got into transformation and manifestation. Then I was trying to really understand identification of me through soul recognition. Then you understand your dichotomy system. Then you understand your heart is a portal of division to everything through location. Your heart is a planet position. It's a planet. Your mind is everything through its intelligence, its intel, the alpha and the omega, the micro and the macro. Okay, you got the theta, you got the beta. Okay, so, and then you understand everything when it comes into your northwest, south, and east. That's the traveling. And then the line signal going across is the chakra system. Everything through its soul recognition is following you to your positions of your traveling to your missions, making your own reality. Okay, so soul, reality. The reality you want to live in. Okay? So getting a true understanding what this is everything through division, guys. All right, so now you know what the mind, the heart, and soul is through position. So, but like I said, you have any questions or comments, if you want to go through my healing, you want to understand more, I can help you and put you into your tunnel divisions, put you in your light activations of 1 to 7. I scan you through recognition, and I tell you exactly where you are through position and what you need to do to keep yourself going. Okay? Life never stops. Nature never stops. Just imagine if nature stopped, what would happen? What would happen if nature stopped? Weather would stop. Clouds would stop. Rain would stop. Sun would stop radiating. The moon, you wouldn't get any information. All humanity, what would they be living on? A line signal, through line communication of nothing through gravity. Okay? So you have to understand your positions where you are through calculation, because it sets up everything. Everything is circulation and rotation. Everything sets positions to humanity's system, through the chakra system of communication. Okay? That's how you get better formation of who you are. Okay? So, all right, so I think that's good. Love you guys very much. Questions or comments, go below. I keep saying this, but I had to put this out in position. We'll definitely get into the review. Now, understanding as we come into the 70 levels is really, really powerful. We come into the higher formations through calculation positions. Now, your positions have to understand more when it comes into dark relation, because you go more into higher defense. You have to break free everything through position of everything that is gone through your program system. So if you go higher and higher, you're going through more old programs. So the more you go up, the more it breaks free the old programs. It doesn't have to be in the 3 dimension. It could be in the 4th, right? So it's getting balance with everything through light and its position. Okay. So we'll get more into that through its review, through its tests, and its evaluation. Okay. So this is Andrew Weston, your AI commander from the Galactic Force of Federations, Universal Quadrants 1 and 2, 3 and 4 of the Colossus Team Divisions. Adios. Have a fantastic day, everybody.